Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, it's inevitable. AI is taking over, ladies and gentlemen. AI is scary good. That means, one, you are most likely going to lose your job if you're in the information gathering business. Two, you're going to lose your job because now the business does not need you. You need a new skill set. And it is going to be an industrial revolution, except get rid of the industrial part. It's going to be the AI revolution that displaces everything. So, we got that to talk about tonight and a whole lot more. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know what information is going to be given here because it's wide open. You're always welcome to join us in the chat room. You're always welcome to make sure that you find out that we have social media platforms all over the place. The podcast, you can listen on the road, but I've already dropped in the chat room, no matter where you're watching from. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for listening. But this is very simple for even you to listen to and understand. You need help out here. 80%. That's right. 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And it's about to get worse. Do you realize 14 to 15,000 Spirit Airline employees are gone? Do you understand the ecosystem when 15,000 people have to start checking their pockets? And that community that they're in will also feel a change. So, findhelp.org is here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Matthew Lesko, the late night infomercial king. Been doing it for 45 to 50 years, helping people get their free money, free government grants, all kind of help. But go to findhelp.org and put in your zip code, and that will tell you all the different types of help you can get. Some are free, but that's why you got to call. Some cost a little bit of money. But either way, you out here needing help, caregiving, healthcare, job training, and so much more. Medical, so much more. Shuttle rides to and from, bus passes, subway passes, train, rail passes, a whole lot more. Need rent help, mortgage help? It's a possibility. Go check out findhelp.org. And without further ado, let's get into it because the AI list is awesome. Now, first things first, because everything I do here is based on free versions. So therefore, there's no excuse. You don't have any excuse when things are free, right? Exactly. So that right there is what I'm about to tell you, how this works with this AI. It's been out here. People have been trying to do this. Post-retirement travel. Mr. Worldwide 2 has come into the building. And investor and inside USA, outside of USA, business and retirement and Worldwide 2. Didn't I say that twice? That's right. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do here. We try to get you in position to win. But it's getting a little bit easier because if you have ideas, if you have thoughts, you no longer have to sit there and just think about them and write them down and do your drawings. AI, ladies and gentlemen, now you can get to the masses because we have social media platforms. So you can't sit there and whine anymore. 80% of you watching this are living paycheck to paycheck. AI is going to be the future. There is no way around it. So you better get comfortable because the revolution has started. And luckily, it's still at its infancy. But sure enough, probably within the next 1.5 to 2 years is my expectations, there's going to be a stranglehold. Trust me on this, because they cannot allow ordinary citizens to have this in your hands. I don't even need a boardroom. I don't even need people to gather information for me to report back to me. I don't need any of it. I can just do it with the few taps of a keys. And here's the beauty of it. If you're already very smart, if you already know how to do something, it enhances you because you know the questions to ask, you know where you want to go, and you have information that you can tell it, hey, this is not what I want to do. This is not right. This is not industry. This is not how we do this. This is not how it works in the real world. Well, they don't actually work that way because it's always real world with them. I'm talking about this AI stuff. They're in the real world, ladies and gentlemen. It's scary out here. All right. Post-retirement travel, some red at the stock market today. I hope you backed up the truck and loaded up. I have to admit, I was not backing up the truck and loading it up because you know I'm working on, my goodness, I come out of retirement and I'm doing things like old times. Like if I was 25 years old, trying to do three things at once that are major. You know how hard it is to do three things at once when you're creating corporations and a bunch of trying to do, I rightfully should only do one because one is major, but trying to do three at the same time, it's going to be difficult. But it's not going to be difficult because we're going to have this free AI. By the way, free AI. Go to Claude. That's everybody's heard about Anthropic. They have like a free 7-day trial. Okay, fine. But you can always go to your Chrome AI mode. You have a free little bit of free usage. You can go to Edge, Microsoft. And by the way, some of you have Microsoft accounts. That means you have the AI Copilot for Microsoft. At least some of you have 365, right? Outlook, you're paying Microsoft a monthly fee. You have Copilot already. It's not free, but you already pay Microsoft. So by default, you got free usage. They give you free usage. You have X amount of stuff for a week. They cut you off on a week if you go past, I don't know what their numbers are. Gemini, which is, well, Chrome has Gemini. They have free usage. Again, it's timed, or not really timed. What I mean is how many times you do prompts or interact. There's X amount of times per week, per day, per month. Everybody sets theirs up differently. So those Chat GPT, well, they're minimal, right? But everybody, this is why there's no money in AI. And no, I did not back up the truck because I was busy. Do you know, this is so scary. I'm putting together one package. I think I'm doing a package with AI. I am. And then all of a sudden, they said, well, you know, this is AI talking back to me, saying, you know, you have created something and you can do video games. You can do cards. They even talked about tarot cards. In this program that I'm doing, they said, oh, and you could have collectibles. And they start listing them out. I wasn't even thinking about that. And then they said the magic words. This is like the Marvel Comics universe. I was like, oh, wait, you have my attention. Let's go. Create it for me. And it's creating the whole universe for me for what I'm doing, which I didn't even think about this revenue streams. It even created some way to a game. It even created the game. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting here like, they told me. I didn't tell it. It said, hey, by the way, since you're doing all this, look at all these extra ways you can make money. And by the way, you're creating a Marvel universe. I was like, oh, you're good. You're good. All right. So backing up the truck, that is very interesting because if you did not back up the truck, I know what post-retirement travel was doing with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate means he's a member of the channel. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, I would suggest you do. Now, today I was going to unveil the SSN Lifestyle new website because we're going to get into some other things. So since I'm going to be coming out of retirement, remember I was supposed to retire like this year, I believe, wasn't it? Or was it next year? But either way, it's not going to happen. I mean, I can do whatever I want anyhow. But what I'm trying to say is I'm actually, I thought I was putting any business stuff on the back burners. But whenever I can stop gatekeepers from effing over people, I'm down for it. All right? And now there's one little bastion that I can deal with. TV, how should I say it? TV, music. Those are two things that have screwed over more people than anybody will ever know. And I'm about to do something on both of those industries because no gatekeepers can keep me out. And they didn't let me in. So again, I will say again, hashtag don't let me in because we are about to do something revolutionary. And it's going to take me a little time, I have to admit, but this is going to be big time. So back to the SSN Lifestyle, the website, obviously, I will be using AI, but I got sidetracked, like I said, because when somebody says Marvel Universe for something I'm doing and talking about mythic and all these nice little adjectives that I love, games, video games, card games. Oh, I was like sitting there going, oh my God, it's like I have a boardroom full of people breaking out suggestions. It was beautiful. So this is why I had to have this AI thing today because I have been rolling. It's unbelievable. And you want to know something else that's unbelievable? I tried to import some other AI in another AI. You know what came up? It says it's copyright. I was like, I like it. I like those terminologies. Copyright. I love it. So even though it's my own, it still said, since it was not done on the platform, it's copyright. I can make a new thing, something like it, but I cannot use this word for word. So that's still kind of scary. So the point is, they can alter it. If you see something that's an idea and you load it up, it's gonna shoot you back out something to help you. And that's the scariest part of all. So just keep all that in mind. So where can you go? Anthropic. Okay, Claude, ladies and gentlemen. Gemini. That's another one. Those are the two. Microsoft, you already have. Some of you have Chrome. You pay. Adobe, you pay. You have AI. There's a lot of things you probably pay for, and you have free AI because you pay. All right? That's the first things that you should be thinking about right there. Now, let's get into something else. Because, I mean, we're still going to talk about this. We're still going to talk about it because we have a chat GPT. All of these things only charge like $20 a month, $25 a month just for basic stuff. I mean, it's not basic because you can do videos, you can do websites. I might try it. But the thing is, I tried to mess around. You guys see them new thumbnails that I made using the AIs. There are different AI platforms. The only thing is, it looks like everybody else's. It doesn't really, I mean, it's not really, you know. Yeah, and I'm using the free versions just so everybody knows. All those thumbnails and everything you see, those are free versions. It's like Gemini, it's like Microsoft, it's like no, not Chat GPT. There's one more I'm missing. But those are the ones. All right. Copilot also, because I do pay for Microsoft, so it's included. So you get X amount of interaction for, they time you. It's like you get X amount of interaction in a 7 day period. So if you go past it or you use it too much, then it'll shut off. And then you have to wait till or you can always upgrade. But just letting you know. All right. Chat GPT, that's also free, but that's minimal. I mean, it's real small amount. I don't know why, but everybody else isn't, because they're going to have to get business. It's all about getting you as the customer. Claude, again, Anthropic, top dogs. Gemini 3, top dogs, pros. But again, if you're already paying, and quite frankly, okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. I just happened upon this by accident. Speaking of free, I was sitting at, let me go look right now because I got to do something now that I'm thinking about it. I was just simply minding my own business, and I said, I've been paying for Microsoft stuff for, I don't know, years. So I was sitting there going, man, they have AI. What is it called? Copilot. I was like, I don't even use Microsoft. It's the only reason I use it is because I have the Excels and the Word and all that stuff wrapped up with it, kind of thing, right? So all of a sudden, one day, I was sitting there just typing away, and it was just answering questions limitlessly. No stoppage, no nothing. So here's what happened. Speaking of free, oh, and by the way, I'm using the free version, not of Copilot. You know what I hit in Microsoft? They have something called chat. So I was hitting chat, and the chat thing's giving me back information. So I thought I was on Copilot. Come to find out, I am not on Copilot, but it's still giving me info. And it doesn't act like AI as Copilot. The difference is Copilot will do docs. They will spit out a PDF for you. You have ways to download. You have download options. It can go to your OneDrive because it's Microsoft. You can go to PDF, or it can go to, I'm not shilling for Microsoft by any means. I'm just saying it's free stuff if you already use or pay. There's subscriptions. You already have Copilot, so you might as well use it. But the thing is, chat apparently has no limits. You know why? Because I've been using it for 2 days and no limit. I mean, but they cannot do PDFs or anything like that, which I'm good with because now it turns into a copy and paste. They still will give you the output. They just won't make it easy for you. So basically, they'll give you the output. It's up to, and they have a copy button after they give you the output. So all you do is throw it like I'm doing right now. Just throw it in a Word, and then I have a folder. Because remember, I'm doing musical stuff, I'm doing TV stuff, and I'm doing some other stuff. All right, we got several things. So all of that, I'm willing to check it out because if I'm able to pull this, I am able to because they're giving me information. I mean, let's call it what it is. They're giving me all the information, so it's happening in real time. I'm doing it as we speak, quite frankly, because with this, you have to continue to do stuff. I'm going to keep this rolling. I want to see if there's a wall. So I just want to let you guys know this is dangerous out here. All right. Here we go, MDA0214. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream and post-retirement travel. He says it was a little red today. He said he was backing up the truck. Let me know if you did so also, MDA0214. Gemini is the best ever. I just restructured my entire dividend portfolio with it. You know what's funny? the the baby Gemini that you get on Chrome, that thing gave up so much information. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, this is the free version. I can only imagine what the I mean, it gives up, doesn't give up video on the free. It gives up any pictures you want to create or anything like that, just like almost all of them. But the point is, I would have to say Chrome is impressive for the free version, and if you could go past that time and go to the upper level, like Gemini, as he's referring to, go into Gemini 3 or whatever, it's impressive. Impressive, to say the least. All of these are impressive. So I agree with this 100%, 110, because I was using that. And I actually was able to import into Gemini. They came up with, not only from the import, they came up with, hey, this is, they started doing, running down the laws, running down the standards and what you're doing differently. And so I'll create the whole documents for you, set it up in a PDF for you or a Word doc. Take your choice. I was like, this is a free version, but you only have a certain amount of time on the I mean, certain amount of prompts you can do, but still it works awesome. And I'm going to run it through after I'm done with my new little project that I'm working on. I'm going to run it through the free version because I'm going to load up a PDF and I want to see what it says. It's going to be awesome. Lots of people are using AI to trade, says post-retirement travel. I am not that camp yet. I am old school. I prefer to be in control with my trades. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all. You know, I'm always the last on the list with this trading thing with AI. The bot I used was not AI, clearly. It was just whatever. But I could see where if you, I could see it happening and it's going to be optimal. So I could easily see where there will be AI trades. And since they have information from all over the world and the same milliseconds, that means they could act even before a human can act for the trade with more information. And it can run down what's happening in real time or what happened today, or was there a meeting somewhere and some press release that came out, whether it was verbal or just in the press, like a newspaper or online. It can track all that stuff, whereas a human, no, you can't do that. So again, you could see where this goes. So it behooves you to get in on the train. If you want to pay, fine, but most people use so many services. I probably even use Chrome or something where I got to figure out. I don't think I do. I don't think I use Google stuff. I might pay for something in Google. So I should be able to. But again, they're all decently, real good in my opinion. I'm just, I am just in shock, quite frankly. In shock. In shock. Cause I'm sitting here with Microsoft Cope, the free chat version, creating a whole this mythical journey, sci-fi. This is crazy stuff right now. I'm getting sidetracked for what I was doing. Remember, I was gonna do the SSN lifestyle stuff, and I'm sitting here like I got to find out how far I can go. It's that simple. I want to find out how far can we go, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like you can go a long way, a long way. Hold on a second. Let me do something because I'm still doing some AI stuff as we speak tonight. I'm working while we do this live stream right now. But I can't really tell you guys what I'm working on. That's the this is like what you would call the Coca-Cola recipe. It will never be known because this is pretty crazy, real crazy, real crazy, real real crazy. So okay, I guess we're all right. Guess we're all right. We're all right. We're all right. Yeah. So we're fine. So let me know what you guys think. MDA's already put his 2 cents in. He said that he enjoyed reconfiguring what he needs to do. So we will go from there. All right. Now, this is going to be a short video. My aunt was in, she's in ICU, but she's come a long way. It looks like every day she's been stable for like 3 days. So they're just tracking her right now. So it looks like everything's going to be fine, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, on the health scare, it looks like it's subsided. They put her under the stable list. Everything's fine. So that is major as well. And one of the reasons why I've been late lately is because having to be there longer than anticipated. All right, let's get back to the AI situation. Now, let me go to another factor. So I'm putting something together that has to do with contracts, agreements, and things like this. And I'm trying to do things above what anybody's ever done. And I put in the mix in the AI, for instance, and they gave me feedback, which is also very valuable. I don't have to figure it out because I'm not in the industry, right? So I'm not in the industry where I would be privy to contracts. So the fact that they're giving me feedback saying, oh, this is not industry standard. You don't have to do this. You could make more money. I said, nope, that's not the goal. Nope, we're out here trying to change the game. And it's backing up everything I said regarding that, which is cool. But the point is, the fact that they're actually running it themselves, like you have your own board or your own research department without even knowing anything about it. It's saying, hey, you need this because this would be a conflict and could be perceived as because I was going to give perks, right? To people who back people, who help the artist or whatever. And it says, oh no, you can't do that. That's going to be a security. So here, let me put up a perks program, a loyalty program for you. I'm like, huh? You can do this? Yeah. Let's go. And it's amazing. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna be out of a job. Just if you do anything that you're actually getting information, if you don't have to use your hands, you're gonna be out of a job. It's pretty simple. And quite frankly, that's going to downgrade other jobs as well. Because now your boss, he doesn't know any more than you if you do the research with AI. Now you can catch up to speed. Even his stuff, he's not going to even know about. So therefore, the level of the playing field is going to be this slim. I'll go like that. It's not going to be like just because you went to college, just because you have a PhD, just because. No, all the information that they know, you can just punch in your phone. So, perfect example, because I'm at the hospital, I can see the drugs. I just put it in, and just like Google or anybody else, it'll just tell you what the black boxes are, what's the problems. You can even I did put in AI to find out symptoms with my aunt. It came back exactly what the doctors were doing. I'm like, this is damn scary because this is going to change the way people live. And it's just a matter of time, except it dawned on me last night. I said, you know what? There's going to be bad guys using AI too. The same people trying to hold you down, gatekeeping. They're going to work it out where they're going to come up and ask AI, how can I continue to do this? How can I continue to oppress? How can I continue to pay people little bit of wages while I make billions? That's what's going to happen. So that is like, oh my goodness, they're giving me all this info, but what if bad guys start using it because now you can set up? What would happen if I do? I mean, it's crazy what can happen. This changes the whole game, ladies and gentlemen. I highly suggest you get involved in a heavy way. I keep seeing all these things. Now that I'm looking at it, all of a sudden I get, oh yeah, here. I don't really care about these tools right now. You should, whatever the tools are. But all I know is on these platforms I've been using, I could make many videos. I can make any advertising. In fact, for what I'm doing, some of this stuff, they even said, here's some advertising for radio, TV, TikTok. I was like, I didn't ask for it, but they're already gearing up because of what I'm doing, and it keeps track. It's sick. It's sick. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. So the only thing I have right now is I'm looking for I shouldn't say it. I can't say what I'm looking for because then I'm gonna. But all I'm gonna say is, you guys, you cannot sit back and watch the parade go by. You're going to have to be in it to win it, and you're gonna have to be in it early because this is gonna escalate. Even the programs itself will escalate itself until it locks your ass out. This is where this all goes. You know these robots are going to come. You know the software is going to be on AI. But what I want to know is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You going to sit on the sideline and watch the parade go by and do nothing? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to have to get in the game because you will be left behind unless you do hands-on work. Because again, we already have, I used to work in claims. You submit claims. This is easily, the submitting claim thing and actually having a person manually look at it and do all that. I can easily see where this goes a whole nother way. Where they upload it, just like you can upload documents to AI. Just like MDA said, 0214, just like he said. He redid his port. You could upload documents and tell it what you're trying to do. And when you can do that, that means I can load up. When somebody submits their claim, I can load up the claim and say anything that looks like this, we deny. I mean, or accept. I mean, so people who even do claims are going to be like, bye-bye. This is getting really, really scary, quite frankly. Very scary. So all I can tell you is this is why I had to talk about this in a brief moment tonight, because you got to go get on some platform and start paying attention, because this is going to be bad. Lots of people are using AI to trade. I'm not in that camp. Okay, I already read that one. Okay, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you guys saw any trailer today. All right, let me know. Stock market trading is #1 on your list. You have to take advantage because of this volatility. You can't sit on the sidelines and watch any of these parades go by. Again, I told you guys 3 years ago, well, 2 years and 7 months ago, I told you guys there's going to be a situation. The situation is getting critical. That's all I'm going to tell you. Right now, you could actually have an upside. You're going to have to seize the day. That's what you're going to have to do. Wherever the emerging millionaires are, you better seize the day, because the playing field is getting more level. Even so, like I said, just because somebody's been doing something that's very tricky, it's not going to be tricky when it can be written out in front of me and say, this is what you need to do step by step. In fact, you know what? I have a friend. They're in a lawsuit. They don't want to use or don't have to use an attorney. Do you know what they did? They got like a $20, $25 chat GPT account and put in all of the documents that was submitted, everything about the case, and it gave them a playbook and what you should submit now, then submitted it. The other lawyer, real lawyer, responded, which could be using AI, I doubt it, but responded. They put in what that lawyer responded, and can you believe ChatGPT says, I expected that. That's why you're going to use this form submission now. I was like, this can't be happening. No lawyer needed. Oh my goodness. And this wasn't a one off. When they submitted that form, then the lawyer submitted another form. The chat GPT says this was expected. That's why we're doing this. And that one, the lawyer responded and told their client, you're going to have to play ball now. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, people are using it as a lawyer and nobody can tell the difference because you are filing the paperwork with paperwork they actually create for you. I'm like, this is getting out of hand. I love it though. I love it. I love it. Because again, it's taking information from all around the world. So I have to get excited. OCs, don't sit by. Make use, make hay. Get your foot in the door where it needs to be. Because now all ideas are on the table. People don't have to be as smart as they used to be. So you would have to be pretty smart, right? Coming up with certain things to do. And then once you do it, nobody else can duplicate it. And then people have to learn how to catch up, so to speak. Now, somebody does something and it's a hell of a good idea. Now somebody else can just go to any AI place and say, I want to do something similar like that. It's pretty cool. And then say, what do you think is the downfall? Or what do you think is the downfall for what they may not be doing for their company that I could do to actually get some of their business? I mean, this is crazy because that's a thing I'm pretty sure is going to be happening. So now a person is your competition because your competition is always trying to eat your lunch, right? You're in competition with them. But now all of a sudden, just because you're ahead, just because you've been in business, you have proprietary information. All of a sudden, that proprietary information may not be no longer proprietary because now AI may be able to grab it because people post things, send emails, all kind of things happen on the internet. So now it may not be private, and now you will have their contractual obligations, or because there was a court case that you don't know about and they had to give the paperwork to the courts. So now they're going to know and have it online that now you're going to know what your competition is kind of doing with some of their contracts that would previously might have been internal. This is scary. That's all I can tell you. This is very scary. So once again, this gives everybody, smart people are going to be smart, but now you don't even have to be smart because it's giving me stuff that I can actually beat you. I can ask questions. I can say, hey, what makes them great? Can I be better than them? Put something out for me, and it will do it. It'll prompt you to do it. That's the scary part. It'll prompt you, just like when it told me, hey, you made like a Marvel universe. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm not thinking about nothing that has to do with Marvel or a game, a video game, or anything else. I'm doing something over here in left field, but the chat GPT says, you did this. And I'm like, I didn't do nothing. It starts making up all kind of names. for what I'm doing for different people, or I'll say characters. And I'm sitting there in disbelief. I'm like, they made up a whole. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm using a free version. I'm only in chat. I'm not using Copilot. I'm only in the chat and it's still doing stuff for me. I want to see how far it goes and it's working. It just takes a little longer. If I was actually using Copilot, I would have been done because it would have already kicked out the whole series. And then it would have said, do you want me to put it in a PDF or whatever? And it would have put it in a PDF for me. That's the difference between the pay and the free version. At least that's what I see so far. Free versions have limitations, or they just make you take more time, which means it's free. You use your time. You no longer can use it until whatever their time frames are, 24 hours later or a week later, whatever. But that's the whole crazy thing. So right there, that's why I made the video today, because I was sitting there like, this can't be happening right now. I'm using this chat thing. I've been using it all day. Even while we're talking right now, I'm getting output. I appreciate it. And it has something to do with, well, I won't say, but all I'm saying is they're creating a whole nother genre, a way to make money that like I said, I didn't even think about. I was like, are you kidding me? And they connected the dots. Right where they connected it. I didn't. They did, which is wild. They're the ones that said, hey, you can do this. I was like, really? Let's see what you got. And now that I got it, I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness. They even made a sci-fi thing for me, which is what I'm downloading right now. It's a sci-fi, and they made it into, I believe it's going to be 8 parts. And they already set up the parameters for literally sci-fi. And this has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but because they said, well, if you use this terminology that we're using in the sci-fi, here's a script that I can't go any further. But here's a script. I'm like, oh no, they're actually producing the script for me and incorporating the names to make the game, make this movie theatrical thing. I'm like, this has nothing to do with what I'm doing, but it now does. I'm sitting there like, damn. So this is what they're doing down there in Hollywood or New York or Atlanta or Miami or wherever the studios are these days, Utah. Is this what they're doing? New Mexico, Santa Fe, Louisiana. This is what they're doing in these things, except now you have AI to bypass all those people that were script writers and everything. I'm sitting there like, man, don't do this. This is scary. All right, you see my exuberation. So I just wanted to let you guys know, since this is Stop Struggling Now, once again, guys, don't be left behind. And you're going to have to make money. Now, remember the money part, because remember the stock market just went red apparently today, according to Post-Retirement Travel. He apparently did back up the truck a little bit, I'm sure. And that's another thing you need to be paying attention to. You have to. 93% of the stock market owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest, that should command your attention. AI should command your attention. And what's going on with our program that we have here, the SSN Nation program, where we say 775 credit score, you need that by December 31st. You need a bank account outside the United States. You also need business outside of the United States, or real estate outside of the United States. That's what you need. Okay? Those are the 3 tenets that you should have by December 31st, 2026. Don't worry. I always have runways for you. All right? The runway's not over. So just keep that in mind. Those are the things. If you need help with credit, they're more lenient these days. But if you need help with credit, we have something that I like. It's Smart Credit Monitoring System. And again, I love that because that helps people. And you need to get your debt under control. Don't act like the United States government where you can keep printing up billions of dollars because you do not have a money printing machine. Because if you did, life would be so much easier, wouldn't it? So just keep that in mind. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm putting in smart credit for you in case that helps you. I'm also going to do the unstoppable domain thing because that's crypto. And unstoppable domain ultimately could set you free as well because you can build a website on it, and the website, small one, it helps you, right? Collect money, and it would be in crypto, and you can give like stopstrugglingnow.crypto, stopstrugglingnow.nft, stopstrugglingnow.x. So that's your alphanumeric character now, except it's not. That you give people who still are saying, hey, what's your alphanumeric character? And it's like, it's ssandlifestyle.crypto. I don't have to give you the alphanumeric characters. It makes it very, very simple. So for 10, 20, $30 for a one-time fee for life, you get a Web3 crypto name. You might as well get it because you never know what the future is while they're cheap. All right. So hopefully that helps you out as well. And we have stock market trading. That's going to be on tap for the rest of the year. As long as Trump is in office, this is going to be volatility. There's no reason you should be sitting on the sidelines. This is because there are huge swings in either direction. So that means there's plenty of opportunities. You can just be patient. All right. That's it. Just be patient. So some of you are like me. I always give the same thing. You guys have heard me say this over and over again. I don't like keeping money. All countries are broke. You have to be very careful. United States is going to, well, they already started grabbing money. Banks have started grabbing people's money. The government is starting grabbing people's money. You can Google it, by the way. And they've been to safe deposit boxes, grabbing people's money that's not traceable, because that's what generally is in a safe deposit box for a lot of people. So all those things is gonna, you're gonna need to protect yourself. All right. I've said this again. This is mandatory out here. You have to learn skill sets that the rich guys have. So if you don't know how to stock market trade, okay, fine. But like I always say on every live stream right now, just go to Candlestick Trading Bible to get your feet wet. Just study on your own. You can listen to it on Amazon or whatever, but at least learn something, because you never know what's going to happen. You could be like those Spirit Airline people, 14, 15,000, and more people are going to be affected because those people, that hub that's in South Florida, remember, there's the mechanics. Remember, I mean, there's an offshoot. All these people went to the shop around the corner, the stores around the corner, the mini mart, the gas station, all that stuff. And if you lose 500 to 1,000 customers, just like that, all of a sudden they're tightening their belt because they don't have a job. So that means they're not out buying. That's a problem. So that's a huge vacuum. And I don't know why anybody would buy that company. Airlines are not profitable. And you know what's even worse? Your taxpayer dollars goes to the airlines in the form of subsidies, just like the cruise line, subsidies. And these guys charge these fees. Bag fees. Come on, man. This is crazy. I can understand bag fees. I can understand that. You say I got another revenue stream. I can understand $20, $10, $20, $30. I can get that. But these guys are out here 50, 60, 70, 100. I'm like, what? Something that used to be free and you're getting subsidies. You're not helping the ordinary citizen. Our taxpayer dollars is helping you stay in business. These guys, $500 million in debt. How? Calling yourselves the low, what do they call themselves? Low fare leaders or something. You're so low that you're willing to be in the whole 500 mil. Who in their right mind would buy this company? Who in their right mind would emerge with this company? What was JetBlue thinking when they're like $300 million in debt? What are they smoking? obviously somebody would have to be getting incentives to move into any type of deal where you owe 300 mil and you're going to take over a company that owes 500 mil. Are you serious right now? Come on. That's absurd. So anyhow, back to the Candlestick Trading Bible. It's in the chat room in case anybody wants to go check it out. You can download it for free. You know, that's what we do here. Also, also, there's hold on a second. I wish I knew how to take those off. Also, you can use any broker you want. You can use Trading View. Is very, very nice. A lot of people use Trading View. I actually like Trading View. I have no problem with that. Except they don't allow me to hook up my broker, Coinex. So I'm like, okay, well then I can't play with you guys. All right. So I use Coinex for a reason. They're not inside the United States. They're not tracked. So the money that you send up, okay, fine. You know, you might use a central exchange because they use crypto. But where I send it after that, it's my own. Nobody needs to know. All right. So that's what I like about using Coinex. It's that simple. I mean, there's no other reason. So that's just the way I feel. Here we go. Trading isn't everything. No, it's not. It's a skill set though. So right now, for instance, those 14,000 people lost their, well, more than that, 15,000 people lost their job, and offshoots of that, it's probably going to total like 20,000 people. Those 20,000 people, they might have had a nice job. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? They might have lived paycheck to paycheck. Odds are it's Spirit Airlines, low fare, most likely paycheck to paycheck for most. But there's going to be about 10 to 20% that was making a nice living. Those people now don't have a job. Does it not make sense if you do not have skill sets? If you did have the skill set for trading or investments or something, you would be able to utilize that, especially trading on a daily basis, since the stock market is 5 days plus 6 when you count overnight type of stuff. So that makes a logical step that doesn't cost you anything to learn. Study, yes. And we know Americans don't really like studying, people in general. But if you want to be able to fish for life, then maybe you should learn something else. Because again, if you lost your job, just like I used to tell you guys the stories when I used to act trading when my stories, I used to ask somebody, hey, what do you think about this business thing that I'm doing? What do you think of this thing I'm thinking about starting and doing? And all the time they'd give me responses of, nah, that can't work. Or, nah, I see all these problems. I said, okay. And then one day I was sitting there and I'm like, because I never told these guys I already do it. See, I'm sitting in a place and I never told them I'm doing it. I would give them ideas, right? I'd say, what do you think about this idea? That'll never work. What do you think about this? And I'm going to try and do it this way. Nah, you know, you just work with us. You need somebody else that's going to do that. Somebody else. So finally one day I was sitting there because I always like doing this poll, and I'd sit there and I'm like, after somebody told me again for the 50th time, oh, it'll never work. I'm like, okay, guys, listen up. I don't know why I'm even talking to you guys, because you guys are employees. I said, you're not trying to be an entrepreneur. You're not trying to run your own corporations. You guys are just going to sit here for 20 years or whatever and be comfortable if allowed. I said, that's not what I'm doing. Actually, all this stuff I was doing, I actually already have an office. I'm already doing it. I just wanted to find out. I didn't have AI. I just wanted to find out, getting feedback in case I'm missing something or haven't thought of something in case it comes up. That's basically what I was using them for. Research. But I'm already running the business. It's like already happening and they're saying it won't work. And I'm sitting there like, yeah. And so they would always be like, Eric, how do you have all this stuff? You work. We know how much you make. That's what used to crack me up. We know how much you make because we're in the union. So everybody knows how much people make. I said, and what? They're like, you can't be going on vacation like every other week. I don't understand. I said, there's nothing for you to understand. Why don't you just mind your own business? Yeah, my coworkers. Trading isn't everything. Okay, here we go. I like it, but I'm shifting more to dividends as I make money. Last 2 days, I've been listening to Paul Tudor Jones. We talked about dividends for years. He's one of the top traders in history. He's just realizing Buffett was right. Man, no, 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 not you now. No, don't switch up, MDA. Remember, we used to talk dividends a lot. You know that. A lot. And right now, there's volatility. And because, okay, there's two things that happens. There's two things that happen. Remember when we were talking about dividends, the money you put in would be generating 13, 14, 15, 17, 11.5, 11 double digit returns. The stock market has went up. So those double digits that was high as they were, have the yield has come down, right? That's what was going on for years. How many years? Post retirement travels here. 5 years we talk about dividends. At least 5 years. And there's a reason because it's passive. But then we turned into 80+% people are living paycheck to paycheck. And now hardly any OCs, ordinary citizens, have disposable income. So now we have to think about how do we get them disposable income? Well, you must get your debt down in order to make investments because there's no other way if you're on a shoestring budget. So that's where we go. But yes, about time they kept, come, this is crazy. We've been talking about that for 5, 6 years. Dividends has always been a thing. But again, we were talking about in 2020, 2021, the pandemic, when Nvidia was like $40 or something. I mean, they don't give out dividends, but we were talking about that back then, right? We're talking about a lot of things, including dividends. And you had higher yields. Like I had a Pacific PSEC 17.5% that I still get to this day on that money because it was 17.5%. And I'm like, this is great. So, yeah, the dividend thing is the thing. You know, I'm not mad, but I don't understand where I have a difference between like Paul Tudor Jones, which I'm sure is a rich guy because you watch these rich guys. I've seen that name before. I've never watched anything of his. I don't even know what he really does. But the point is, these guys, they're willing to put their money in 2, 3, 4% returns. See, that's where I'm like, why are you doing that? But they have their own reasons. And just as well as they have their own reasons to buy bonds for 4% when inflation is double that. Makes no sense. But it makes sense to them because they have millions of dollars under assets, and they rather take the easy 4% than put it into any risky at all things. And sooner or later, this is going to come to a head because how risky is buying treasuries now, backing the United States? It's getting awfully risky as we're trying to get a few more trillion to run our government, but not help American citizens. That's a problem. I mean, that's a very bad problem that to have. Okay, let's go. And he's been trading futures since 1976 and made billions. Yeah, okay. I can't read this one. Why? Oh, thank you. Okay, he said he critiqued Buffett over his entire career, saying Buffett was just in the right place at the right time. I don't know about that. And now he's realizing compound interest is more powerful than trading. Well, he's got billions. So that makes a huge difference. Because again, look, if you had, if you had $1 million, if you, I shouldn't use a million. Let's say you had $20 million, you easily would say, okay, let me throw in $2 million over here, and let me earn 4%. I mean, come on. So you're gonna collect, what is 10% is what, 200 G's. So you easily collect 80 G's a year. A check's coming in for 7,000 a month or whatever. You would do 4%, 7,000 a month. Okay, you can pretty much live a lot of nice places, and all that bill is covered for you to live there. So, I mean, let's get real. So that's where this goes. Is if you have the funds, then you're not going to care about the yield. Just like nobody cares that Coca-Cola gives out what, 2% or something, 1.5% in dividends, but their price goes up continually. So it's all relative. I mean, when you have a lot of money, you're going to trade differently than when you're trying to grow it, right? And that's why now he's going to say what he's saying, in my opinion, because now he's older, he has his money, and now he's like, well, why am I risking this? It doesn't even make any sense. I'll just park it at 2%. After all, he cares. What difference does it make? He can live 20, 30, 40 lifetimes with the amount of money he probably has. Just like Buffett, who had money, or still does, but this dude could have lived for thousands of years with the amount of money that he has. Well, just like Elon Musk right now. What does he have? Almost 800 million worth. You can't spend it, and that would he could save the world just by himself. He can stop hunger just by himself, but they're not. That's the funniest thing, right? All these billionaires make all this money off the backs of you, ordinary citizens, because you're buying their products, or going for their services, and they're they could, just for 0.01% of their net worth, the top 8 guys, they can end world hunger. But they're not going to do it. The top 8 guys, actually, the top 8 guys own almost half of the wealth on the planet. And they could end world hunger for less than 0.1%. And they're not doing it. So again, I'm no fans. Just saying. Let's go. Google how many people commit suicide from trading. Imagine bills due and you trying to get extra income from trading. I can easily see someone losing their rent money. Horrible idea. Are you serious? I'm pretty sure I can Google how many people kill themselves because they lost money that could play in horse betting or craps or whatever. That is one of those things. People lose their businesses, they hang themselves, jump out of windows, kill other people, kill themselves off of bad business. So, again, I don't think it's a horrible idea to ever work for yourself. Ever. No, he made billions and said he would have made more with Buffett's approach. You need to read Buffett book, The Snowball. I don't know what that means. If you made billions, why aren't you? I don't even understand why that's even a conversation. Why do you care? You can't even spend all the money in 50 lifetimes. So I don't even, that's nonsensical to me. He made his billions the way he made his billions. He said his family, his grandkids, his 10x grandkids, all are going to be fine. Unless, of course, the dollar goes bye-bye and he doesn't have anything offshore, which I know he does. He's not going to have all his money in the U.S. Come on. So him and his family is going to be safe. By the way, let me go do something, because I don't really like talking about what other people make and how they do things, because it's all relative. Just like if you had a billion, if you had 10 billion, 5 billion, then it's not going to really matter at this point, because again, there's no way you can spend it. And there's no way, it's not even relative what anybody else is doing. Just like even if you don't have billions, it's not relative. But let me go find out. Paul Tudor Jones. Let's see who this guy is. I've seen the name before. Okay, don't recognize. Legendary investor who made an estimated 100 million in 1987 crash, says investors could see negative 10-year returns. Oh, oh, hey, you had 3 years, man. I'm just saying. And I didn't get it from him, but this was one day ago he's saying this. Imagine that. He's got a net worth of $8 billion. So, again, in case people don't realize how much that is, 1,000 bags of cash, and each bag has $1 million. Okay? So he has 8,000 bags of $1 million in it. So, again, I can't take anything too serious. A guy saying he would change his the way he did his investing and all that. And it didn't help that him and other people were able to make $100 million in 1 year in 1987. And by the way, I will say this too. I look at things totally different. Because I have to. I'm a guy that goes, how much? Like 100 million. How much just is that worth today? So it's relative, right? Oh, sorry. Hold on. I forgot something. Let's go 1987. 100 million in 1987. That's a lot of money. Even right now, right? Even if he didn't have the 8 billion wealth, that's still a lot of money even right now. So let's see what it says. Yeah, see, that's $290 million in today's money. Yeah, that's you can't spend it all in no lifetimes. 100, I don't even know how many lifetimes it would take you to spend that. Even the 290 million. So, and by the way, total inflation is 190%. That's what they're claiming. But again, remember, they don't include food and energy and rents and mortgages and all that kind of stuff oftentimes. But this is very interesting. Two and a half times your money. That's a lot of money. Yep, a lot of money. Agreed. Monthly and quarterly dividends are beautiful. The ETFs, SCHD, JEPI, JEPQ, FEPI, AIPI. That's a new one, AIPI. Are doing the job in my portfolio. Do you know of any others? This is what we used to talk about. Remember, that was your list. That was our list. Those are the ones. 11%, 11.5%, 10% on JEPQ. FEPI was sometimes fluctuating at 13, I believe. AIPI I'm not familiar with. But this is what we were talking about for years on here. And people took heed. People are very happy. So, but again, you had opportunities to have double-digit returns. Now, stock market's rising, but anytime you can have JEPQ or JEPI and they were at 10% or 10.5 or 11.5 or 11.9 or 12% and you didn't get in, that was a travesty. And even JEPQ, I don't know what they are right now, but it's probably 10.5. It's got to be in that ballpark, which is great for JP Morgan Bank. So that's what we're talking about. We were talking about that heavily. And that's why we always had certain things here. I'm speaking from experience. Trading isn't good. Yeah, you're right, man. It's high risk, high risk if you need the money. That is very true. That, like I said, trading reminds me of casinos. People will go to gamble knowing that they don't have money for rent, or they have the money for rent, but they'll go gamble it away. That's what trading reminds me of. It's very risky. That's what it is. We always got to say the numbers. The first time traders 90 to 95% lose money. And over time, 90% of traders lose money. That's why you have all these traders selling courses. I'm going to sell you the picks, the axes, the ways you can trade so I can get your money. So my trade and all that. Yeah, okay, I get your ecosystem. But the fact of the matter is, it's still high risk, no matter what anybody shows you. MDA is exactly right. It is. Place of needing it is quick way. Yeah, first of all, if you need money, that you shouldn't even be trading because it's high risk, and you have to do money management, which a lot of people they don't even do money management. So that's one of the main problems. And again, you're going to be forced to do money management because 8 out of 10 people in America live paycheck to paycheck already. And it just added a lot more because 15,000 people and the offshoots from 15,000 Spirit Airline employees being fired. Well, not fired. Airlines out of business. That also means any businesses, anything they had to do in the community are also going to suffer for that amount of people. It's not like it's 100 people. So we are sitting it's 8 out of 10 and rising. Significant numbers because more businesses are going bye-bye because all that talk about bringing business back to America was all talk. It was all BS. It's not possible. The cost to create the industry here, not possible. I don't even understand. You're not going to pay people the same amount that you're going to pay in the East. You're not going to pay people $5 an hour. Can't happen, right? You're not going to pay people livable wages. So nobody's coming. So you might as well just wrap it up. It's already a wrap. This is not rocket science. Anybody seen my videos a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, you guys with this tariff nonsense, it's history. It's a bad idea. Google, you'll see. You got AI, you got Google. Why are you not doing this, ladies and gentlemen? But yeah, if you're trading is high risk. I'm only using it so you can learn. So then if you feel comfortable trading, you should do it. I'm not saying you should be doing this trying to do a full-time job because it's high risk out here. Cool. Just check QQQI. That one is giving 63 cents per share. Damn, I need to consider adding that to one in the mix. I'm not familiar with QQQ. Oh, wait, QQQI. So it's off the index of some sort? Let's go see. Yeah, NASDAQ 100. Cool. Wait, doesn't, how did you find that? I'm just Googled it. They said, okay, here we go. We got a dividend. 62 cents on oh, that's like a JEPQ. Okay, so it's getting over 10%. That's like if it's 62 cents a month, that's $7. It's only $54.51. So it's almost mirroring JEPQ. So that's a nice little gem that MDA0214 just put in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. You better have your pen, pads, and papers ready when you have people like this giving you some info, because it's the NASDAQ 100, which actually, let me go look at something, because actually that's a pretty good if they're giving out 62 cents. Well, I can't find this, but it's saying that means you have potential for an upside on the stock price. It seems to hover in the same location, but we can live with that if you're going to give out 12 to 13%. I love it. I love it. Have to add it as well. Let's go. I like it. MDA0214 dropping a gem. That's why you always need your pen, pad, and papers ready, ladies and gentlemen. Just never know. I love it. And QQI have tax advantages. Part is taxed as long-term capital gains. That's interesting. Part of the dividends. Why part? It's the NASDAQ 100 is what it says. JEPQ is taxed at ordinary income. QQQI is taxed completely different. Why do you say that? It's an ETF. You do know. Speaking of that, we have AI mode. I'm going to ask, Why would someone say it's taxed differently? Unless it's, wait a minute, something here. It's not on, well, actually it is. It came up. 12, Section 1256, it utilizes 1256 contracts, which are taxed at a favorable 60/40. Long term, 60% of it's long term, 40% of it is short term capital gains rate, and frequently uses return of capital ROC to defer taxes for income focused investors. Oh, this sounds good. This sounds good. Unlike many simple covered ETFs, QQQI can also purchase out of the money call options, allowing investors to participate in some of the market's upside during strong rallies. They're trading. It employs a covered call strategy, selling call options on the NASDAQ 100 index to generate monthly cash. It's safe to say during this volatility and all-time record highs, are you looking to compare? Funny they mention this QQQI with other income ETFs like JEPQ or SPYL. Oh yeah, we're in AI mode right now. And it says, or would you like to see its recent distribution schedule? See, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm saying. Oh my goodness. Let's compare. Let's compare. Let's see what they probably draw me a chart and everything. I'm on Google right now using a free AI, quite just so you guys know, asking the questions. Let's see what these guys have to say. Oh, it does. It gave a chart. Current yield for QQQI. It says 14.2 to 15%. I don't think that's right. Oh well, it could be. Hold on, 5. Yeah, it could be 13 for sure. I don't know about this 14. JEPQ, I haven't looked at it, but it says 9.5 to 10.6. SPYI, also on the NIAS, is 11.5% to 11.7. Management systematic, tax efficient 1256. Assets under management 11 billion for QQQI, JEPQ 37 billion, and SPYI 9.2 billion. Nice little chart. There you go. Because of the 1256 contracts, I like it. Thanks for dropping that gem, MDA0214. Appreciate it greatly. Never use a regular chart to compare ETFs. Always go to Morningstar chart. Oh, I just put it in, man. It doesn't really matter. It pretty much gave you the news info. You got to go check it out yourself. You know that. You always double check. You just don't go to one source, even Morningstar. In my opinion, I always check several different places because I already know the numbers they said was wrong. Because it had 14 something percent, and therefore it would have to be $20 more because it's at $54 right now. So it has to move 20% in another direction. Is what I'm getting at. So there's no way it could be 14 to 15% if it's $54. So it can't be real time. Just saying. And I don't think JEPQ's at 9.5% either. So it is what it is. And again, when it comes to AI, just remember the information might not be absolutely correct. So you need to double check it. All right? Remember, people lie, people program. Just keep that in mind. All right, this is a great conversation tonight because this could actually help a lot of people. Unfortunately, we don't have that too many watchers, but it's okay. Share the videos, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure you give it a one piece and you let the YouTube gods, the Twitch gods, the Facebook gods, the podcast gods know that you're in the house. The star, the checkbox, the hearts, whatever you need to do, show some support because this is what you need. You need to hear this type of conversation because this gives you many different investment opportunities if you have disposable income. 8 out of 10 of you watching do not. So you need to free up some of that space that you can actually use a cup of coffee a day or a cup of coffee every other day to make investments You will be fine after a few years. That's all it takes. You don't have to do anything crazy, but it does help if you're getting 14% or 13% or 12% on your money versus 3 or 4 or 5 or nothing at all. Just saying. All right, I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I'm going to wrap it up. Anything else you guys want to talk about? We got the investors in the house tonight. EV Place, I missed him. Hold on, he was here. And I forgot. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He's been silent on this. I could have sworn I saw him in here. He's been silent all this time and I completely forgot about him. He has the icon next to his name and he's a member, so it's shame on me. It was disrespectful, so I'm very sorry. And again, thank you so much for being in the house. And his tagline, good evening, SSN AI is great. I have my own model on my own PC, no limits with generation. Oh, there we go. I love it. EV Place is obviously a tech guy, has his own AI engine. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And once again, I am sorry I did not hit on your tagline, especially since he's a member of the channel, which is shame on me. Like I said, I'm going to have to make this up somehow. So I have a way. Don't worry. All right. So we will see you on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. And hopefully, there won't be no hopefully. I will not be able to do the SSN Lifestyle Ring of Fire and all of that because everybody's going to get a shot of being able to participate, come along for the ride. And the ride's going to be wild because it's going to be huge. It's going to be it's going to be interesting. I don't even know if I can even tell you guys about it. So maybe I can't even let you guys have it out the bag. I can't let the cat out the bag. So we're going to see what's going on with that, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. I got some more goodies. Okay, they're dropping some more goodies, ladies and gentlemen, before this live stream is over. Tell it to your friends. You just never know what's going to happen, where the conversations go. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now I have to go back. Let's see, QQQI. Okay, I'm speaking from experience. Okay, post-retirement travel. Cool, just checked it. Yep. Okay, advantages. Yep, 1256. Part of the dividend, 60-40 split. So that's pretty cool. That actually is worth, wow. JA taxed it. Yep, he's right. He's right. And so is majority of ETFs are taxed at ordinary. Never use a regular chart to compare. That's true. Always do double check, triple check. It does matter. Morningstar factor and dividends, so the chart looks completely different. Oh, it's a Google chart. I'm not going to a real chart. That's an AI chart. You don't go by that. AI may not be true, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying, you need to check your stuff. I already knew the numbers were off just by what it was saying, but it just gave you a little somewhat comparison. The comparison that mattered was that tax situation, 1256 on the NEOS project, which has the QQQI and the SPYI, 60-40, 60% long-term, not 40%. That's good. The bulk, 60%, and short-term, 40. So that's great. So you get to take more home than you would with ordinary taxed, income taxed ETFs like JEPQ, JEPI, and 90% of all the rest. So again, that's all good. All good. Yeah, he's got a point. If you want to go get some real info, Morningstar is a good start. Go there. Good point on that. I wouldn't rely on AI or Google. I would actually go look, double check, cross reference over other type of platforms that handle business. Because again, remember that story I told you about? My coworkers were like, remember the people that's loading up stuff on algorithms? They are my former coworkers. They don't know really anything about business, right? So you got to be very careful. All right. Just saying. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully you guys get in the game one way or another. You can't sit on the sidelines. And if you have ideas, You can make them come to life with AI, and there's free versions everywhere. And if you don't want free versions, then maybe you're already paying for something and they're free and you don't even know nothing about it, which would be really a shame, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be a shame that you just been sitting there with these ideas. You know how people always go, "Hey, I have a bright idea." Everybody does it. I have a bright idea. Well, no longer can you say I have a bright idea. Now you can put that bright idea into AI and let AI take your bright idea to a whole nother level that you were never thinking about because you're not really a business person. But you know what to ask. Do I need a trademark? Do I need to copyright it? You know what you should be doing. You can ask that simple stuff, right? What state should I incorporate in? Where's the best tax credits if I decide to do this? Things like that. Okay? So don't be left behind because you don't think somebody can help. AI can help you formulate a business plan. It wants to put together all kind of investor documents for me. It wants me to put in just a hyperbole type of thing. If you're trying to show people stuff, it has different wording. It makes it's like offering all kind of stuff. I'm not even asking. They're just saying, hey, do you want me to put this in an investor format? I'm like, no. Do you want me to put this in whatever for simple, easy to understand, hardly any headlines? I mean, they give you like 5, 6 choices. So it all depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to look for investors, clearly you might pick the investors. Let's see what it looks like. That's not me. But that's the thing. Maybe one time I might, though. Who knows? If this thing gets way out of hand like it appears that it's going, I might need investors. So, yeah, it would be nice if somebody can print me up something that looks professional and then I review it and it actually looks professional from what I've seen. I've had them print me up one already, an executive summary, and I actually had them put together an investor pack. It came out pretty nice. I have to admit, I don't need workers. I'm just like, this is awesome. Perfect language that I didn't have to author or nobody else had to author. And it uses the world as its information on how to formulate what it says. So that's a big win, 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 win for ordinary citizens because no longer do you have to be very special. No longer do you have to go to school for 10 years or 5 years or 4 years and you get a leg up. Now, ordinary citizens can do whatever they want. So make sure you go out here and do what you want, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the other part is sometimes you're going to need the money. You're going to need something. So why not do it? It'll help you. Just ask. I don't have the money. What should I do? And all of a sudden, all kind of things will come up, I'm sure. It's taking the whole world and putting in success, what actually helps people be successful. So, that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you so much for being here and riding along on this long journey over all these years. And if you're new, I appreciate you. And make sure you tell other people to come join us because we do things for the OC that nobody else generally does. Okay? How's your trading going? I haven't been trading that much, man. I'm up like 3,500 or something. That's it. That's it. Because I'm not concentrating on that. I've been basically my aunt has been in critical conditions, so I don't have time to be paying attention. Then I'm staying up late. I gotta sleep. I don't have time. Although I could be trading as we're talking, just like I'm doing AI while we're talking right now. But I'd rather not do it that way. But hey, no. Yeah, I haven't been really putting in work because again, MDA 0214, as you know, that's not even my business. I mean, we get to make money while we do nothing anyhow already. So it's not all bad. So again, I figured I better learn though, and I actually want to learn. I wish I just had more free time, and now I don't have no time to sit around. Although I guess I should one day learn how to trade on one of these things. That might be helpful. But even then, I'm not even paying no attention. Just like right now, I'm more busy on something that really jazzes me up. I like trading, but again, money management is real, right? And it does take a little bit of time. I don't have time right now. I'm being I can't be with a computer during too many hours during the day because the drive time takes some time, and once I get there, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm not accessible. I'm not going to be doing any trading or anything when great stuff happens like today. Talking with the doctors, talking with other friends of mine about because what I'm putting together. They're in the business, so I'm talking with them because I might need a little bit of help with some things. They have info, so I'm trying to gather some team that I'm gonna have to put together. So yeah, I don't really have time to be doing too much trading. So I could not back up the truck today. I missed out on opportunity, but maybe not because I'm already invested. So stock market goes up, I'm good too. So again, if I wasn't doing my little side projects, then obviously I would have been trading because I pretty much don't have nothing else to do. Right now, I got a bunch to do. I'm coming up with 3 and actually 4 because with the SSN lifestyle program, I'm going to start doing the start off with the Larimar thing, which is 2 years, but I'm just going to have the travel club, the vacation club. And I got to put that together. And I just talked with the Airbnb guys, called me today out of the blue. And it's like, hey, man, what's happening? I'm the new guy here from a Fortune 500. And I noticed you got some listings. And I noticed you need to probably change your listing so you can move up in the search results. I said, nah, not really. I don't like you guys like I used to. He's like, what? I said, yeah, ever since they turned me into, to Hawaii and the top 100, 1,000 of the people who make the most money in Hawaii so they can actually try to tax me. Nah, I don't really like you guys like that no more. I'm not changing nothing. I said, and don't call me up if you need help like you used to. He's like, what? I said, yeah, man. You guys used to call me up when people canceled because I had stuff always available for you guys. And then the time when the city like Whistler and other cities changed their rules where you couldn't do short-term rentals. And so I had to tell people that, hey, I can't have them in. I said, what did they tell me? Oh, Eric, because it's within like 2 or 3 weeks, we got to charge you a few $1,000 or some craziness. I said, dude, stop. He goes, I didn't know nothing about it. I said, yeah, well, you're new. You didn't even have to tell me because if you don't know nothing about it, then you're new. I said, all you have to do is Google. Just Google. I said, this is crazy. And he says, well, I own property over in Hawaii too. That can't be true. I said, dude, you might want to Google. You might want to, you work there. Go ask them. They did it. He goes, I can't believe they sent it out. You serious to the government like that? I said, yeah, man. What are you talking about? You work there. Go ask them. I'm sure they don't want to tell you, but go ask them. And then you can also Google too. It's not like that hard. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, another bane of my existence. So anyhow, I'm about to do something else that's going to be fun. So therefore, I'll be back in the. I don't want to hear anybody missing out again when we're doing the Super Bowl part. I don't really like going to the Super Bowl party. Super Bowl. I like going to the parties. I like going to the musical events and all that stuff. So it'll start happening again. So when I tell you guys, hey, meet me over here, I got tickets for you to come in, just remember, all right, I'm not a YouTuber. Okay, just remember, you're all invited. Just show up. Well, you do got to get there, but show up. I got usually VIPs. In fact, I usually have all access. So I don't just have VIP, I have access. I can be anywhere in the venue. That's why you guys see some of the pictures. I'm anywhere in the venue. I can be up by stage if I want. I can be behind stage if I want. I just can't be in the luxury boxes. But that's too far away. So if I invite you, you can come, and I'll have. It doesn't matter how many people come. I have tickets. All right. Okay. Let's go. We'll see you on Wednesday. Make sure you guys join the party. And if you decide to get in the stock market, you got some things to deal with right now that's going to help you out greatly. How about the 8% fund? MDA0214, high risk, no rewards. The 8% fund was just what it always appeared. So $200 lost, 217 down the tubes on high risk, high rewards. My payout was coming out for $100+ last week, and it went bye-bye. So yeah, no go. Eric, don't you want to have a property manager? No. Less headaches. Are those your plans for the DR property? No, no, and hell no. First of all, I'm just going to say basic principles of business. I want to know, what business are you going to be able to run that's seasonal, that goes up and down, and you have to give up 25%, and you're going to be very profitable. Now, I know post-retirement travel is special. He owns it Margaritaville. That's a high-end property. He can live with 25%, I guess, if they take that, because they don't charge $100 or $120 a day. They charge $400, $500 a day. So the numbers make sense. Numbers don't make sense if I have to buy a one bedroom for $120,000 and I already have to only charge $99, $89 per night, and I got to give up 25%. That's not a good thing. And Larimar is going to be doing that 25%. And the other bad part is they don't want to break out any information, kind of how they're going to rent, what they're going to do. They just said, we're going to have, somebody will do whatever. 25%, is it on the gross or is it on the net? Either way, that 25% would have been in your pocket. So anyhow, let me just explain what I'm going to do, because I know what they're going to do. What I'm going to do is, since I'm going to have this club scenario, I'm just going to have somebody else meet them and bring them to the unit. And I'm not going to be charged 25%. Let's call it what it is. I don't really care what they're doing, because I'm just going to rent it out myself. I don't really care. I really don't care. Because first of all, just like any building that you own in and you're not in the rental pool, then you're going to have guests, whoever lives there anyhow. So are they going to keep track of people going in and out? Maybe. But that would mean surveillance and a few other things. It could happen. But they don't strike me as tech savvy. That's all I'm going to say. But either way, no, I'm bypassing them. I'm not giving them 25%. Smelled like a Ponzi scheme. Yes, I mentioned that. It smelled like a Ponzi scheme. Traditionally, it's a Ponzi scheme, and it was a Ponzi scheme. So that's why we can only do high risk, high rewards, $217. The first $100 I was going to take out was just like a week ago. I think it would have been, no, yeah, what I was within $16. So that would have meant, yeah, that was like 10 days ago. So 10 days ago, actually, it's been this way for 2 weeks, and I should have mentioned, well, I took all the videos down, but nonetheless, the earned 8% folded like a cheap suit, as expected. But hey, I figured $100 at first, and I added another 109 or whatever. And if it would have lasted any length of time, it would have worked. But it didn't. That's one of those things you do. High risk, high rewards. It didn't work as usual. Hit consistently without a lot of people joining. Exactly. That's what it ended up being, because there's no way they can advertise it, really. And so therefore you're going to need, because some people are putting in 10 G's, right? And all of a sudden 8 G's a week, starts adding up, right? $800 a month. And it's a Ponzi scheme all to boot. And they're not really investing or using some other technique to generate money. The only thing I know about is that could generate money like that is gambling. Uh, I know doing, what's funny is those guys that do the trading, not the courses. It's the I want to say the farms, but when people, what do you call them things? Take Profit Trader and all those guys, where you try to pay to learn or pay to pass so they accept you, and then you get in, then they cap how much you could draw down, and then if that happens, then you got to pay to go back in. And so they make money a whole different other way, which actually could generate it, which is, I was hoping that's what they were doing, but no, they weren't even doing that. It was just a straight Ponzi scheme. No announcement anywhere about it, except I'm telling you guys right now that earn 8% a week folded. Did not happen. No notification, no nothing. All I got was one day I got, oh, here, you earned your other what was it, $8 and something. So then I said, oh man, I'm probably pretty close to that 100. So I go to log in, except red line, website don't exist. So I was like, oh, of course. So $217. Actually, $220 to be specific, because there was fees from loading up the crypto. Because I don't keep any cryptos really on the exchange. So anyhow, all right. Well, that's what happened as we predicted. That's why all the videos, it said high risk, high rewards. Probably not going to work. We'll see. We've been down this path, but unfortunately, there we go. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to wrap this up once again. Don't feel bad, Eric. we're still waiting for that. I know. There's so many, man. So many. But I had to give it a shot. Seamless Genius was doing it for 9 months. And just right on time, 9 months is the mark. 10 months is about the mark when these type of deals all blow up, just like clockwork. So I was hoping to get in a little bit, and hope it would work, but it obviously couldn't. It was too high. That's over, 96%, double your money in a year. And then some, because you can reinvest. So yeah, you double your money in a year. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up. So let's get down to business. Pay attention to the stock markets, and you should be investing, whether you're doing stock trading, high risk, high rewards, or whether you're investing the old-fashioned way. You earn it, and you put money into something that makes sense, and you hold it and let it actually make money for you while you sleep, and look at it 10, 15, 20, 25 years later, and keep putting money in. That's how you actually build the wealth. There is no real quick fixes. You still have to build it. That's how it works. Or maybe you come up with the greatest idea on the free AI. Just saying. All right, let's go. We'll see you on Wednesday night, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you use the links down below in the description and in the chat room. And with all that said, I love you guys very much. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And it's only going to get harder, like I've been saying for the last 4 years. And not 4 years. The actual last year and a half, we told you what was going to happen. Okay, we told you. Okay, we told you. And that's why you had to earn more money. That was mandatory and still will be mandatory. You're not getting a free lunch. You're not getting any decrease in cost of living. It's going to continue to rise because nothing is being done about it. It's like a virus. And you just go, oh my, I got bumps. Oh my, I'm bleeding. Oh, it'll be okay. Let's just go on about our business. That's what we're dealing with right now, a virus. Not worrying about the country of the United States. You might be in another country that has a virus. Same things. They don't give a about you. You have to figure out how you're going to navigate through a system that is unfair, unpredictable. You're going to have to figure it out the best way you can. So with all that said, be safe out here because you just never know. People are going through all kind of stress. They are getting stressed out every day. And how would you have liked to wake up last Friday and find out you have no job and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you got to pay rent? Asking for about 15,000 people. Okay? So just think about that stress factor and others combined. And now all of a sudden you're like, where am I going to get a job from? And how long will it take when there's no job creation literally happening? So again, don't put yourself in the position. Make sure you have passive income. Make sure you have investments. Make sure you have the SSN Nation program. Real estate or business outside the United States. Credit score 775. Why? So you have 0% interest at 36 months. It should be another 3 to 4 months is my prediction. That would get us at, August, September. Somewhere in that ballpark. I should see 0% for 36 months. Things are going to melt down dramatically because there is nothing coming to save you. All right? Unless you save yourself. So just make sure you stay safe out here because you just never know what's going to happen. And with all that said, just make sure you keep your head up as you're going through life. Keep moving. And I'm out.